Ready to get thunderstruck then, with the classic Thunder Saloons and the blue oval Saloons for everything Ford.
And a great idea combining these two classes together so that we've now got a very healthy grid of 20 cars, despite the fact we've lost a couple after, well, one practice problem and one problem in a previous race. So Adam Hatfield, a GT champion, up against Andrew Wilson in the Monaro, the sort of car that sort of would have raced in the Oz V8s.
Adam Weller's already replied, in fact he was in an Aston Martin GT4 this year, Adam Hatfield in the GT Cup.
Right, good, thanks for that. So two very different cars on the front of the grid, but they both ended up at more or less the same sort of time, didn't they?
They certainly did, yes. Now, I think this is going to be a rolling start.
Yep.
It usually is for the big Thunder Saloons. They'd never get their traction fully down from a standing start. These big, very powerful machines. We've seen all manner of beasts race in the Thunder Saloons in the past, including some refugees from the old Formula Saloon Championship. Red lights are on then. Pace car pulling into the pit lane. Andy Wilson in the Holden Monaro on the outside. The British Touring Car Toyota Aventis of Adam Hatfield on the inside. Here they come up towards the red lights. They go out and away we go, and a cracking start by Andy Wilson in the big Holden Monaro. Leads the way into paddock. Good start by Bal Sidhu around the outside. The Aventis has overshot paddock bend almost there. I thought he was going into the gravel.
I thought Bal Sidhu was, because he went into paddock with an amazing
He's got the lead.
That was an incredible manoeuvre around the outside.
Oh, we've lost Ilse Cox. She's gone straight on at Druids.
Oh dear, oh dear.
They say out into the gravel.
So it's Sidhu in the lead. The Monaro is second, and Hatfield is third. And hopefully, yeah, she got going.
Yes, she has.
Yeah, so that's good news.
So Ilse Cox gets the Seat up and running. Again, we've got a spinner. Ralph Higson's Mark II Escort spins at the back. Everybody dodges to miss him, and fortunately they do so. So cold tyres, I think, coming into play on the opening lap of this one. They're slipping and sliding and spinning all over the place in the early stages here. But Bal Sidhu, that was a rocket start from the second row of the grid, and away he goes, the man from Walsall in the West Midlands, in the purple BMW ahead of Andy Wilson, the ex-British GT Championship Holden Monaro in the mid-2000s. Dave Cockle's made a good start as well. The Escort Cosworth, the silver number 95, is up into fifth behind the Subaru of Dan Gillard. Hatfield down to third place from his pole position, seemed to overshoot paddock bend on the first lap. Gillard under fire from Cockle. Then we've got Piers Grange, he's leading the blue oval saloon split ahead of similar Mark II Escort of Neil Argrave. Ray West behind them in the BMW. Now Bal Sidhu, to my knowledge, has yet to take an overall race win.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on him here. This is a good start by Bal. Used to race the BMW M6, but out in his M3 today. Comes round to complete the second lap in the clear ahead of Andy Wilson, that rumbling Holden Monaro.
Yes, the Monaro, as we sort of suspected, got the jump off the line with all of that power, but Bal Sidhu absolutely rocketed around the outside of paddock, amazingly holding on and not venturing into the gravel, which I thought was absolute certainty, the speed he went in there. But that M3 is certainly motoring, and has got some road holding, and Bal's got huge spherical objects, because he was very brave as he went through there. And now into Surtees he goes on lap number 3. Fastest lap of the race to the leader at the moment, at 53.822.
There's a little squirrely there coming through towards Clearways, a little late on the brakes, I think.
The gap was 2.5 seconds between first and second on the previous lap. Over the line they go, 3 laps completed, and the gap is much the same, actually, 2.3 seconds.
The car to watch here is Dave Cockle. That Escort Cosworth has just flown around the outside of Adam Hatfield in the Toyota. The shattering of the turbo wastegate as he went across the line. He's up to third. He's just done the fastest lap of the race, 52.442 seconds. That's over a second quicker than anyone else.
Well, he has won 4 times already this season, and we did both say, didn't we, how lowly he was in practice.
Yes, and he's had a few blown engines in that car, unfortunately, Dave Cockle, over the last couple of years, but this is a great run up the order by the number 95 car, the man from Worksop in Nottinghamshire. He's chasing down the man from the northeast, Andy Wilson, in the number 97. Now, are they catching Sidhu out in front? 2.4 seconds was the gap. Over the line they go, and Cockle's going to try again as they go into paddock. He's going for second. They've closed to within 1.8 seconds of the leader. Cockle's through. Another place made up into second. Keep an eye on that Cosworth. It is absolutely flying.
Yep, as they go up towards Druid, Sidhu now coming under pressure from Cockle. Not too long before they start to lap some of the tail enders. Down the hill they come to Graham Hill, this very tight left-hander which often sees people run wide. This time all of the first 5 in fact going through very neatly, and Lee Gillard perhaps a little bit wider than he should have been there as he goes through Graham Hill, but the first 4 certainly staying well off the curbing. But Sidhu now really under pressure. It was 1.8 seconds as they came through on the previous lap, and as they cross the line, Cockle is about to take the lead.
He goes straight round the outside there of Bal Sidhu. Sidhu doesn't give way. They're side by side on the run out of paddock. He's just about held his lead there. Bal Sidhu has held it. They're going to have a good battle between these two. I think Bal Sidhu has to go on the defensive now as they go into Druid's hairpin. Wilson behind them in third, then Hatfield's closed back up, and Gillard as well, so it could be 5 for the lead soon enough. Flames flashing from the side exit exhaust on Dave Cockle's Escort Cosworth. He's going for it now. He gets the better exit from Graham Hill Bend, and he's into the lead. So the Cosworth goes through. It was surely only a matter of time. That Cosworth's so quick in a straight line. They're coming up to lap Keith Harding's Ford Capri. Hopefully he'll see them. Yes, he moves out of the way at Clearways and leaves the leaders a clear way to go through.
Getting worse as it gets later, isn't it?
Yes, I always do.
So through goes the leader. 6 laps completed by Cockle. Sidhu in second, then Wilson, Hatfield and Gillard. So those first 5 still reasonably close together, but I think Dave Cockle is now about to disappear, having worked his way up from 12th on the grid into the lead. So a phenomenal first few laps for Dave Cockle to get himself into the lead of this race. He's now lapped the Jag of Richard Askham.
Let's not forget Dave Cockle started 12th on the grid. Well, technically 10th because 2 cars ahead of him didn't take the start. Blue flags being waved, blue lights on because of Richard Askham's big cat being in among the leaders there. And Hatfield's lost another place because Gillard's got the Subaru ahead of him now. So it's still Cockle blasting away at the front of the field ahead of Sidhu in second. Wilson with the headlamps on in third. He's coming under fire from Gillard now in the Subaru. The big 4-wheel drive cars there, grip and power telling here. Next car to be lapped is going to be the lovely Mark 1 Escort number 41, Peter Moffat. At the back, another flame spitter in this race.
Yep, down to Graham Hill comes the leader. Moffat is there in the Escort. He stays to the right of the circuit, and the leader just modifies his line slightly. Through he goes into Surtees, and that lappery is completed there without any problem at all. The gap was 2.8 seconds, and I think it's still going out. Cockle's done the fastest lap, 51.564, the only driver in the 51s so far this race. Over the line he comes, 8 laps completed by the leader.
Mustn't forget the blue oval Saloons as well, because further back in 7th overall, Piers Grange in his Escort is leading them. Neil Hargrave in 9th overall is second. Third of the blue oval Saloons is Alan Eason, number 3 in the Fiesta XR2. He's having a good run against more powerful opposition, ahead of Ashley Shellswell's Sierra a little further back.
Next car to be lapped will be Ralph Higson in the orange Escort as they head through towards Surtees, and with the Gillard Subaru monstering the Monaro as they went out of my sight into Surtees there, and he drops back a bit. He was right with him as they came through Graham Hill.
Yeah, the Monaro must have got its power down a little earlier there, trying to close up on Bal Sidhu for that second place now. What's the lead gap? 3.5 seconds this time through. It's 4 cars almost now for second place. Just need to close up a little. Long gap back to 6th, which is Ray West in the BMW. Then we've got the battle for 7th, which is between Grange and James Janicki, the ex-Nippon Challenge racer in the Nissan Skyline. Was grey, that car, now blue. Flash of flame from him as well. Shame this race isn't being run at sunset, because you'd be able to see the flame effect from the cars much more clearly in the gloom. Where's Ilse Cox? Got back up to 9th place in the Seat Leon after she went off at Druids on the first lap. The leader comes up to lap Ralph Higson. He spun on the first lap as well in the orange Escort. Mark II moves aside, lets the Cosworth through. In the pursuers, Sidhu, Wilson, Gillard. Over 3 seconds behind Dave Cockle now. Adam Hatfield has dropped back a bit into 5th position.
Just up the road, you've got the 27 car of Martin Reynolds. That's the very nicely liveried Mark I Escort, just coming out of Graham Hill now. Quite reminiscent of the Alan Mann cars. Not quite the same colour, of course. That was more gold and maroon, really, those ones. But same sort of idea. That's the next car to be lapped by the leader as it goes around clearways at the moment. Then we've got quite a gaggle of slower cars who are fighting amongst themselves. They're going to be slightly harder to lap, including that Capri there of Abbott. That's Tom Abbott's Capri, number 62, the Labatt's liveried car.
Gillard's right back up with the Monaro of Wilson now for 3rd, within a couple of car lengths. Now they're in clear space. Is the 4-wheel drive of the Subaru going to tell here? We're used to seeing Subarus winning this category, of course, in the hands of Dale Gent, but he's not here today.
He closes up through Druids and through Graham Hill, but I think Monaro seems to get away down the Cooper Straight.
See, not this time, it doesn't.
Well,
he's up with him this time. He's got him.
Yeah. So through he goes. This time the Monaro has no answer for Lee Gillard in the Subaru, and Gillard is up onto the podium.
Let's see if he can stay there then. Started from the 4th row of the grid, 3rd row of the grid I should say. 6th position. Chasing now Bal Sidhu for 2nd place. They're heavily in backmarker traffic now. Tom Abbott's Capri, the blue and white Labatt's liveried car, reminiscent of the early 90s British touring cars raced by the likes of Tim Harvey and Lawrence Bristow.
Just up ahead of him is Malcolm Wise in his Sapphire Cosworth. He'll be out in a few moments in his Escort in the South East Centre Saloons qualifying.
Still leading the blue oval category is Piers Grange ahead of Neil Hargrave, and Alan Easton still holding off Ashley Shelswell. They're coming out of Clearways and Clark Curve now up onto the Brabham Straight, just behind Clive Hainsford in the rotary-engined Mazda RX-8. Little Fiesta still holding off the Sierra XR4i, but they'll soon be lapped by the leader.
Yep, 3.5 minutes of the race to go. And the leader's lapped everyone now up until 13th position. And clearly he's not going to stop there.
The noise of the turbo wastegates chuffing and chattering on these cars really is spectacular. They lift off just after they pass our commentary box. It really does sound impressive as they go into paddock. Bal Sidhu has been caught. He's trying to get past Tom Abbott's Capri to put a lap on him, and Lee Gillard could steal 2nd place here in the Subaru.
Yeah, Gillard started back in 6th place, but he's just got quicker and quicker, hasn't he, as the race has gone on.
Well, certainly Dave Cockle did, down in 12th at the Stars. And he has cleared away as only a Cosworth should. Over the line he goes.
Coming up to Shelswell and Easton, who are having their own little battle. And hopefully they will see a blue flag any moment now as they head up towards Druids, because the leader's got 3 cars who are all in fairly close proximity to each other.
Lee Gillard nearly got round the outside of Bal Sidhu going into paddock there, but Sidhu is so late on the brakes there every time. A very brave drive by Bal Sidhu. Tomorrow's race, I'm sure he'll be looking for his first overall win.
Yeah, maybe at the end of this you can ask him about his technique into paddock, because
yes,
it does seem to be pretty spectacular.
Brake as late as possible, it seems to be. or maybe not even brake at all. Gillard's Subaru monstering up behind him. You're able to see that big rear wing in his mirror. We've got 1 minute 45 to go, so a couple more laps for Dave Cockle here, I think. Here comes Gillard. This time he's going round the outside. He's got him down the straight, and he's early enough this time to get it done. Across the front into paddock there. This time he holds the place.
But even so, Sidhu is very, very quick, isn't he? That first part of paddock, he's just so quick into that. And closes up again as they go through Druids.
On Cockle heads through Graham Hill Bend. He's lapped Clive Hainsford's RX-8. Now, can Andy Wilson get onto the podium in the big Holden? Gillard pulling away now in second place. The cork is out of the bottle, as they say. Now Bell Sidhu dropping into the clutches of the Holden, and the Avensis of Adam Hatfield. The pole sitter in this race not far away either. But the lead gap is up to 5.5 seconds now. Cockle from... Oh, and a tangle there, and Gillard's tangle with a back marker. Off goes the Subaru. Down the home straight, backwards into the tyre wall. I think Ashley Shellswell there just didn't see him. And out goes Lee Gillard. He's getting out of the car. He's okay, but he'll be very upset there, Lee Gillard. Main thing is he's okay. He jumps over the tyre wall. Yellow flags out on the front straights. So that means that Bal Sidhu is back into second place. Andy Wilson moves on to the podium in third.
And we are on the last lap.
Yes, so the yellow flags will stay out there. It will be a win for Dave Cockle. It's going to be checkered flag this time, I think, for the Escort Cosworth. Here he comes up towards the flag. Dave Cockle will take our first Classic Thunder Saloon win of the weekend. Bal Sidhu will come in for an excellent second. And third, it's going to be Andy Wilson, just ahead of Adam Hatfield.
Okay, so Cockle wins, number 95 in the Escort. Sidhu is second in the BMW, number 16. In third place, Andrew Wilson, number 97 in the Monaro. And in fourth place, just off the podium, Adam Hatfield, who started on pole position in the Toyota Avensis, number 34. In fifth, it was number 19, James Janicki in the Subaru. And in 10th, it was the car of Ray West, the BMW number 10, finishing in 6th position. 7th was 55 after her first lap indiscretion. Ilse Cox, the new champion, finishes in 7th position in the Seat, and then in 8th place eventually, and winning the Boss section, first to the Ford's home, was Piers Grange in the Ford Escort, number 56. Second in the Boss was number 53, which was Neil Hargrave, and in 10th position overall, the 152 of Clive Hainsford, which was that very colourful Mazda RX-8. So the car's now coming in, and the marshals attending to the very unfortunate 101 of Lee Gillard. Hopefully that car can be refettled for tomorrow. That was unfortunate. Dave described it, the tangle with the back marker there, which resulted in the 101, which had got up into second place by dint of some very impressive overtaking, and then fell foul of a back marker and hit the wall, hit the tyres just by post 25 there, just before the start finish line.